the content that you constantly consume online is like super super like important, especially if you're gonna make the decision to stay online and stay on the internet and stay on like Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and everything like that. Because I'm noticing like the more content that like I switch myself up to be watching, the more of like myself I actually feel like. Like I was wondering for like a minute, like why do I not feel like myself anymore? And it's because of just all of like the toxic ass types of content that may pop up, and it's really my own fault. Like once I like put that to the side and realize like, oh, it's actually just my fault because of the stuff that I'm liking, or like the stuff that I'm saving and shit like that. And then it made me think like I actively have to like really control like the stuff that's popping up like on like my timeline, or like on like the YouTube feed, even like videos on YouTube that might pop up in your recommended. Like it's up to me to like click those three little dots and say like not interested, and show less of this, and this isn't relevant, or whatever the case may be, and purposefully liking stuff that I actually want to see pop up for me. And I realized this because I remember when I had took the whole social media break, where I wasn't on, like, I wasn't using YouTube. I wasn't using, or wait, I was using YouTube, but I wasn't using Instagram and Twitter. And I felt like a euphoria kind of feeling, where I wasn't consuming like such negative types of like content and stuff like that. And I notice it more now that like I'm actively pushing that type of stuff away, mainly because I know like recently on Twitter, like maybe like a day or two ago, it just kept on popping up on my feed, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous because people were just talking about like prices of things and like rent and all this type of stuff, and how people were just saying like the fact that like a 1,500 two-bedroom is like seems quote unquote like reasonable is like crazy. And it was just making me realize like how much of like that kind of bubble I don't want to be in, of like that type of content, even like negative shit. Like I don't want to see certain things, so I just have to control myself from not like actually seeing it. And it's like a difficult thing to do, to like actually purposefully stop it. But at the same time, I feel like you know this is kind of like that whole bettering yourself every day, and like that whole self-improvement thing. Like it doesn't just come from like having a consistent like workout routine, or having a good sleep schedule, or just having a skincare routine and stuff like that. It comes from things that you're like actively doing passively. And I realize the more I fix the things I do passively, the more like my mood improves, and the more I feel like myself. Like the more I take time to really like focus on things I want to do, like just with my hobbies and everything, the more, you know, at least the more life kind of improves, and like the way I look at life improves as well. Because it's easy to look at life with such a glass is half empty type of thought process, versus looking at it as a glass is half full type of thing. And it all really starts with just the things you're doing passively, even like the music that you may be listening to, or even like the podcast, or even just, oh, like this video is like 5 minutes long. Even like little stuff like that. It's so easy to like fall into like such a negative mindset. Um, I guess since I'm a man, it's more like the negative, at least in my like perspective, like that negative type of content would be like the red pill shit. And like I realize it's so easy to fall into that, and it's so easy to take what's being said as like fact, or like this is what life is, and this is how social interactions are, and like weird shit like that. And I guess really just the good thing is that like I stop myself, or like I just catch myself like, why am I even like consuming something that I don't like my morals don't align with it. I don't believe in this stuff. Like, why am I like allowing myself to be pulled into this type of content, and it starts to like dominate my brain. Like, why am I letting that happen? Because like at the end of the day, I'm letting it happen. And if you get into that too, it's like you're letting it happen, you know? So why am I even letting it happen? So it just made me think like the content you're consuming, it really matters. Like the whole food thing where it's like, oh, you are what you eat. Same thing applies to what you're watching, like regularly. Like the stuff you're regularly watching, it really matters. It really changes the way your brain works, and it really changes the way you see the world. Like I used to see, and I remember like I used to kind of just look at life and like the world super like gloomy. And I don't know if it's because like the sun's been out more or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't seem so gloomy. It seems bright. There seems to be a future. I'm more optimistic. I feel like I'm myself more. So, yeah, your brain is what you allow it to consume. That's that's what I'm going with. So, y'all take it easy. Take care. Be breezy. End the video.